Everyone, welcome to Concordia Jedi. I'm Asher.
I'm Aaron.
We're talking to you today about our favorite lightsabers, both from the movies, from any shops or sellers we've seen, favorite colors of sabers, and just general thoughts about the custom saber community and that kind of stuff. So let's start with you. Remember, let's try to keep these a bit short so the video doesn't go over an hour like last time. That was the problem why the last time we tried to record this video, it went almost an hour long and didn't save onto my phone. So gee, I wonder whose fault that was, Mr. Talkie.
Hey, I mean, you were going off too, so don't be pointing the finger.
Give you that finger. Oh! Hey. So why don't we start with you? What would you say is your favorite lightsaber from the films?
Tough one. I guess maybe for nostalgia I cannot talk the life of me.
The purposes of nostalgia?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Just try to think before you talk next time, okay? Purposes of nostalgia. Yeah.
I love you but hate you. Anyway, yes, for purposes of nostalgia, I'd have to say probably Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon?
And part of that has to do with, the I told you a lot in my ranking video about it, but just how sentimental that and nostalgic that film is for me. But also, you remember those old extendable toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the first. I had a crack ton of just Qui-Gon, and believe it or not, they were all red. I don't know how that we hit that lottery, but
that is the crappiest lottery in history. Imagine winning and saying that, congratulations, you have won some old plastic Qui-Gon Jinn lightsabers, and they're all red. Great.
And then
I spent my life savings on the tickets.
And then we had some other.
And of course, it has that sound effect you love. Where is it? There.
Yeah.
That is a great. I'm loving that more the more I hear it.
But then we also had some other of the extendable toys, the other designs. Yeah. But yeah, that was So that just is very sentimental to me and nostalgic.
Yeah, my favorite lightsaber design from the films, I would have to say, is the Graflex. If I had to choose a version of it, or Luke, Anakin, Rey lightsaber, if I had to choose a version of it, again, for nostalgia purposes, I'd say the A New Hope version. Even though I love the Force Awakens and Last Jedi version because it takes elements from all the Graflex sabers before and puts it into one.
And a little bit of its own take, too.
Yeah, like with the brass eye. I gotta say, me personally, I don't care for the design of the Graflex in Empire Strikes Back. Mainly the red button on the front. I don't like, and they removed the little beer tab underneath the red button on the back. They took some stuff away and then added a red button where I just didn't like. I didn't like where they put the other one. It looked better with a glass eye, in my opinion.
I agree, but at the same time, I kind of like how it shows that Luke tinkered with it.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, that'd be my favorite saber. You have a least favorite lightsaber. You know what mine is going to be, but let's see what
Yeah. Honestly, I can't really think of one, to be honest with you. Originally, I would say there used to be a saber that I would go to immediately, and that would be Episode 6, Darth Vader. And I used to absolutely hate that hilt. As probably about as much as Shamim hates, if you know, of course, you know about Shamim and how much he hates the Episode 1 and 2 Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
which I think that hilt's pretty cool in many aspects. But
the thing I hate about that hilt is just that stupid pommel. That's the part about it that
I think
that
that's
don't
cool.
Like. I don't like. Anyway,
I think it's cool from the
continue.
perspective that in that sense, how it's not really used. But yeah, I can see why it's kind of
continue.
But anyways, at first I knew that they had gone with taking some liberties and added some Graflex kind of elements to it.
Yeah.
But I never really saw it, and I didn't really like it. It just didn't sit well with me until
you learned the history behind it.
Well, no, I already knew a lot of history, but I learned a little bit more. But the biggest thing was I saw more reference shots, and not just that, but also seeing other reviewers and also other sabersmiths
like
Shamim, and when they would show the hilt and things like that, when they did certain views, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head the certain orientations that they showed, but if like I looked at some of the videos, I could tell you, or the pictures or something like that. The angles. It finally showed me a lot of cool things, and also I finally saw the Graflex part that kind of just clicked. It's just like, oh, and it just it grew on me. Yeah. And I still, it's not one of my favorite hilts, but I don't dislike it anymore. And so I don't really have a hilt that right off the top. If you ask me my least favorite hilt,
I guess we'll go with that one for right
now.
Then.
Right, that's why I say that. But as of right now, if you're gonna ask me which one,
that's the one you go with.
I wouldn't go with any right now because I'm trying to figure out if there's one I dislike that much. But if I had,
I guess we'll go.
That's
That's
the dishonorable mention.
All right. For me. My least favorite lightsaber, you already know. Mara Jade's lightsaber as the Emperor's hand. That horrible silver piece of crap. Oh my God. It's like a turd that someone grabbed and dipped in silver.
Well, you want to make it even worse, just add a Obi-Wan Kenobi 1 and 2 combo on that.
God. It's like someone took a pile of crap and said, you know what? This isn't dirty enough yet. Yeah, no, I hate pretty much everything about Mara Jade's lightsaber, her first one that she used as the Emperor's hand. It has stupid hand grips that I absolutely hate. There's silver hand grips on a silver hilt, and then little bolts on each of them. And this isn't like the Graflex where it has the low profile bolts underneath, like drilled into the hand grip. This one, they're sticking out like a sore thumb, and there's like frickin' 20 of them all over, so the hilt just looks ungodly stupid at the hand grip. The emitter has this. I don't like the switch section too. I can't remember what the switch section looks like.
It's just like a box.
It's like a weird box that I don't like. Oh my! The emitter section is the worst part because let me say, for as bad as the hand grip section is and the control box, it could have redeemed itself just a little bit in my eyes if it had a better emitter. And the emitter is not good. The emitter is garbage. It has this weird black, like the emitter is normal, but then it has like right here, it's like C section, right? It's normal, and then on the back end of it, for some reason, there's this like hand grip material. It looks like someone cut a few Graflex hand grips, like an inch, and then just like put them like one after the other, and it looks horrendous. Am I supposed to grip it up there? Because that just looks horrible if I'm doing it like, I don't like the top of the emitter. I don't like all the greeblies on it, for those of you who don't know about custom sabers, greeblies are any little screws, extra buttons, lights, anything that just adds an extra pop, but they're used in all the wrong ways on this hilt. And it just looks horrendous. And the thing is, Mara Jade has another lightsaber design. It's like a gold or a brass and silver design that is about 20 times better. It has like a slanted emitter to it with like these rings around it. It looks fantastic. But if you show me that Emperor's hand, like, look up the Ultra Saber's Emperor's Hand model or the Jade Fire from Saber Forge, and that's the hilt I'm talking about. It just, God, it's just nasty. It's horrific. I hate it. There's not a single thing about that hilt that I enjoy.
Even anything you could give any positive outlook towards.
At least it's not a cannon hilt. That's all I can say.
Alrighty then. But overall on Saber design.
Or at least she got a better one.
But overall on Saber designs, talking about favorite hilt and how reminiscent Qui-Gon's hilt is for me. When I was looking for
Nostalgic,
Saber,
you mean?
Nostalgic, thank you.
Reminiscent. What's reminiscent?
It's that kind of a day, okay?
Okay, Aaron. All right.
Anyways, I was like, what are you giving me the hand for?
That's what I was doing. That kind of a day.
Anyways, so it's so nostalgic for me that when I was looking for, I wanted a custom saber, and I kind of got that. And so kind of what I wanted some part of Qui-Gon's saber in there, and as you'll see with my saber, which I absolutely love, thanks to Albert Flores out there, if you're watching, thanks.
Yeah, Albert is awesome. Albert is one of the people we've met in our time with custom sabers. I contact the guy all the time. I consider him a friend. I hope he considers me a friend and just not some guy who messages him every now and then asking stupid questions. Because I'm still pretty much a novice in the saber community. I don't know how to do installs. I've only just started learning about making boot sounds through Audacity. So I'm hopefully try starting to learn my way into that. But anyway, Albert's a fantastic guy. He also does, whenever Thomas busts up one of his hilts or needs something fixed on it or improved or upgraded, he sends his to Albert too, and gets it done quick and reliably. So Albert, great job.
So it's got the inspired emitter of Qui-Gon. Let me see if I can get in here. As you can see here, but it's just painted differently. And then I wanted like a Obi-Wan grenade section is what I was hoping for. Kind of.
Say you got a Luke Return.
Yeah, I got it, but
like this.
Yeah, like
right
that
here.
one. I kind of wanted. There's the Obi-Wan where it's diced up, basically.
If I were to take off the grip right here on my arbiter, which I don't want to, but this has the Obi-Wan style hand grip. You can see very faintly the diced ridges.
Right. So it's basically just diced up into fours, basically, this would be, and then you got Obi-Wan. But I got a Luke, which, I mean, I don't see much wrong with that.
No, I don't either. I think I prefer the look of the Luke one on it more than I would the Obi-Wan, but that's just me. That's just me. And
so then I also got the, Obi-Wan Luke style pommel. And
with a nice Covertech clip too.
Yep.
I'm like the only one in our groups here, in our little Concordia Jedi group, that doesn't have any clip or way to fasten my arbiter onto my belt. I'm thinking of maybe getting a D-ring at some point for it to put on the bottom part, but overall, as it is right now, I'm perfectly happy because there's no spot on the hilt with a clip that my hand brushes against while fighting. I can grip this hilt anywhere and be able to fight with it.
Now, one of the things
I am thinking of getting a new pommel, a lower profile pommel for this arbiter, because this one's getting kind of worn down there on the cubes, which matches the rest of the hilt. This hilt is beat to heck. Let me see if I can show you a little bit. Like there on the pommel, there's all these scuffs up towards the emitter. It's all scratched up. I don't know how well you can see that. Towards the emitter there, it's all scuffed up. It's got a bunch of dents on it. I love it. It just gives it more character.
So for me, and I was also hoping for a control box, but I'm actually somewhat glad I don't. In some way, now some people are like, "Well, a control box just gets in your way," but I think it's cool.
Only if you're handling your saber like a maniac. Like, if you're in a fight and you're constantly moving it back and forth, like, and you can't find a comfortable spot where you can move it like this and move your arms, like, it's not all about the movement of it in your hands. For tricks, I can see why it would be it, but if you're in a duel, it's not that big a deal.
Right. So
same with the loot control box here. There's a nice spot down here where I can grip, or I just turn the hilt like this, and then with it, and then for tricks, I just spin it up here.
So, but at the same time, I'm somewhat glad that this one doesn't, just because I can grip it anywhere. I mean, and I don't really have to worry. I mean, I don't really have much trouble. I'm
really
somebody
like
that doesn't have trouble with cover text. Not because this is gonna sound really weird, but the cup of the center of my hand is a lot deeper. So it kind of just doesn't bother me sometimes if I'm moving around and I'm like this. It doesn't really bother me much.
And even if it does, you can just turn it like that.
Exactly. And so, but I kind of like that. Yeah, it's.
I like the silver anti-vandal switch on it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a huge leap for this. When I was in my at the end of my freshman year here at Concordia, I said, you know what? I've seen all these videos on it. There's new Star Wars out. I'm gonna get myself a nice quality saber. And I looked around, decided to go with Ultra Sabers and their Arbiter design. I went with green instead of blue, which blue was usually my go-to color, my favorite color, but I decided let's go with green for this. I'm so happy I did. The saber everything about the saber except the hilt has been upgraded at this point. The hilt and even then the switch has been changed, but the hilt itself, the metal body, is the only part about this hilt that's the same. There's no Ultra Sabers electronics left in here. But that's fine. I decided it was time to move on from the Ultra Sabers electronics anyway.
Well, actually, didn't you say the new speaker you got?
Oh, yeah. I did get a new speaker for it, which I believe is one of the stock ones used by Ultra Sabers, and it's nice. It's actually louder than the previous one I had.
What I thought you said was it's not stock used.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the...
It's one of the types that Ultra Sabers uses, and it is louder than my previous speaker was, so.
And louder than your Ultra Saber speaker was, too.
And that's good. I didn't have...
Maybe it's one of their the premium speakers that they have with their premium sabers.
And I love the glow you get around these sabers. But for me, I didn't have any major problems with Ultra Sabers electronics. No, they're not high-end. I've made a whole video discussing my experience with Ultra Sabers, but... I didn't have any issues. If you talk to Thomas, he probably had more issues with his saber than I did. You were there around that time. Yeah. I mean, he had so many times where he'd hit the saber once and then boom, obsidian. Where his saber just shut off and reset. But I didn't. I enjoyed it. But
now I have a real simple soundboard. Eventually I'll upgrade that. But
I don't know, because unless you get like a higher tier soundboard, you don't get this.
Well,
this one already has more options than my Nano Biscotti V4.
I'm saying like if
it doesn't have all the sound fun options.
Main menu.
But look at
Select
this.
Optical frequency 1.
With his saber, you can go through the different. He doesn't like me messing around with this, but I'm just doing it for the sake of this video. With this saber, you can
2.
go with the different flicker settings, which range from flickery to insanely flickery.
4.
To major flicker,
5.
to hummingbird wings,
1.
and then back to 1, which he prefers. I think you should try out one of the flicker settings.
3.
Like,
4. 5.
maybe this one at some point, but I know you like
1.
solid.
Yeah.
Select sound intensity.
Yeah, you get to choose how loud it is. Who would go with low?
High.
You always want on high, but then there's muted. Who's going to do that? Then you just got a stupid stunt saber.
Select impact sensitivity 1.
Apparently I did because I forgot about it, but we'll change it back. Impact sensitivity, you get all these different options.
Well, and I was thinking more of,
Select motion sensitivity 1. 2.
I was thinking more, you know, when I upgrade
All
it,
settings saved.
is, what the heck?
I just turned it off.
Yeah, I know. That was weird. But,
Main
There we go.
menu. Select.
I was
optical
thinking more of like a
frequency 1.
prism.
Select. Sound intensity. Low. High.
But
Select
I was thinking of
impact
getting like a
sensitivity.
prism
1,
at some point.
2.
Like, I think that would be really
Yeah.
3.
cool to have.
Select.
For a second I thought you
motion
said prison.
sensitivity. 1.
Yeah, I would love to be in, you know,
Settings
go to
saved.
get a prism, you know, a prism board. You know, it'll sound so cool. Anyway, but no, I mean,
So real quick before my phone dies, what would you say is probably your favorite color of lightsaber? Like that you've either seen in the films or in the custom community?
well, my favorite to use is blue, just because it's
Classic.
kind of classic, but it's the one that fits best with me. But I think the coolest one I've seen is kind of that color, as well as kind of the offhand that Ahsoka had.
Yeah, it's just really nice. This green on the TCS Luke, the lime green white, very, very nice. I love this hilt. I'd say for me, probably just a nice green. I've seen so many great greens. I love the green lime mix. I love just this standard green. But then there's also some reds I really like. Ultra Sabers has a premium color called Pyrestone Orange. It looks really good. It's almost like a
Blood red.
a blood, not
I
even
mean, a blood orange.
but
It's
a lot of people call it the Dorito orange because they say it looks like the same color of a Dorito.
That did not just happen.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people call it. I'm just reporting. It's not like I'm calling it that. But yeah, there's a lot of different colors. There were some premium colors from Ultra Saber that I wanted to try out, never really got to. Like emerald green was always one I wanted to see, but from what I heard, it's just like a lighter shade of green. So didn't miss out on too much, apparently. That's it for this video. Maybe we'll continue on it at another point.
At a Saber Talk video.
Yeah, Saber Talk video. But this is just our general opinions on sabers right now. One more question before we head off. What would you say is probably your favorite sound font that you've heard? Like used in a video or on one of my sabers or Thomas's hilts or on your Viridian?
That's so hard. If I had to choose one right now, I'd probably say Shamim's Graflex 7.
This one?
Yeah.
It's got a really nice bass ignition.
But other than that, it's really tough to say.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I love the Graflex 7. I love this one from Mad Cow. It's called Rogue. It's very traditional except for the hum. The hum is really unique on the saber, but it also sounds like a saber that would be used in universe. People make sound fonts with unique hums all the time, but a lot of them sound like I would never hear that in Star Wars. This one I could hear. Like, it's a really, really nice hum. But then I also enjoy the Exile font that I got from Saber Baron. This is just an awesome font. He said it was based off of the Exile from the Jedi Exile that you play as in Knights of the Old Republic 2, Mitra Surik.
It's not working very well.
Yeah, no. And just again, the clashes on this. So many great clashes on this. It's just fantastic. So I'd say those two for right now that I've heard, Rogue and Exile, are probably my two favorites. I think that's all we really have time for right now. If you guys like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe below.
Hit that notification bell.
May the force be with you.
Always.